Fuck. Come on, man. Wait, man. Come on, man. Just hook me up.
Check it out.
You just, man, I said I suck yo. Come on, man. Just get me fuck. Any of y'all want a hamburger?
When the riot
The
stopped,
Hugh brothers' docudrama style of shooting was an accidental stroke of genius. Menace to Society is a movie about crossroads, an emotional, turbulent odyssey that's stark and powerful with its portrayals of peril. In it, we meet Kane, our protagonist, exploring the necessity for a person to accept their actions, and how not doing so triggers a sequence that leads to a disastrous chain reaction. An extreme cautionary tale illustrating how one comes to care about living after it's too late.
Being a black man,
Check it out.
in America isn't easy.
What's it about? Survival.
The hunt is on.
Plainly put by Mr. Butler. More specifically, surviving long enough to make it out the hood.
All I'm saying is survive. All right?
Let's be 100. As the film starts, the tension that's felt between Kane, the Koreans, and O-Dog, I'm sure that was based on some past history. Always thought maybe they was robbed at some point. So now they stereotype the community. What makes it worse? They represent the foreigner that comes into the black community only to exploit it. It's the owners that initiate the disrespect from the beginning. From the fake Dutton to forcing O-Dog to have to ask for Kane's change. Then the owner condescendingly disrespects O-Dog, talking about, I feel bad for your mother. 3 strikes and you out, fam. How you gonna open up a store in the hood then patronize your patrons? O-Dog even threw the money on the ground to show it wasn't even about the change. So how do we get here? Shouts out to OG Bobby Johnson and Brubman from the 5th Flow. They make cameos introducing young Kane to a cycle of violence. By 5 years old, Kane learned how to shoot a gun. At the age of 10, his parents was dead. And when Kane was 12, Parnell had a son, then went to jail for life. And by the time Kane is 12 years old, Parnell, his only mentor, had a son of his own, then went to jail. As a child, Kane was basically raised in a den of thieves and wolves. Of course, with wholesome grandparents. By the end of high school, Kane was selling drugs, but he wasn't a plug. Him and his cousin get jacked, his cousin get killed, and he gets shot. The nonchalantness of the hospital scene shows that black men dying in that manner is all too common. Kane survives and recovers from his injuries and is invited to join Ronnie and her son on their move. But before he can make this happen, he gotta smash some cute little thotty. Next thing you know, her cousin challenges Kane's manhood in front of O-Dog. That didn't end well. But he didn't take it well either. Shameful at first, Kane had nothing to live for once his grandparents kicked him out. He had no kin, no home, no hope, and he decided, yeah, I got something to live for.
my grandpa asked me,
It was too late.
I care whether I live or die.
The surrealness of the plot and the characters were given are graphic first-hand depictions of Kane and O-Dog's lifestyle. Menace resonated with so many people because of the characters. On the positive side, you had Stacy, a friend with an athletic scholarship with promise and focus, but he was gonna make it out the hood. Sharif is the friend that's the annoying voice of reason. He was a former thug turned Muslim, according to Kane. Now he be in the hood spreading the teachings of Islam, representing Farrakhan. Now he walk around trying to make sure all his people stay woke.
Sharif was an ex-knucklehead turned Muslim. He was so happy to be learning something he liked. He kept coming at us with it.
Sharif's father, Mr. Butler, he gonna always be rock to me. He's the only person in the film that understands systematically what they're up against. He was basically the Furious Styles of the movie.
So what you trying to say, Mr. Butler?
Whatever changes you have to make, and you just do it.
Proverbs 22:10.
Kane's God-fearing grandparents represented his salvation. Them giving up on him casted Caine much like God did Cain in the Bible.
What you trying to say, Grandpa?
Son, you got to go.
Ronnie? Ronnie is Kane's sort of girlfriend. That's OG Bobby Johnson. I gotta stop calling him OG Bobby Johnson. His name is Parnell in this movie. Ronnie is Parnell's girlfriend. But nah, Ronnie wants Caine to move to Atlanta with her and her son, so they can all have an opportunity at a fresh start. But Caine's damn tunnel vision won't allow that to happen. He really can't envision a world outside the existence of guns, cars, drugs, women, drip, swag, or whatever you call it.
You ain't doing jack shit.
He's young and naive and hasn't seen many people make it out the hood. It's Ronnie that symptomizes Caine's struggle by pleading with him to go with her to Atlanta. Let's be honest about Ronnie. This good girls like bad boys type of trope makes her look naive and childish. Ronnie was asking a lot from Caine. She wanted him to move to Atlanta, start over, help her raise a child, and probably foster a relationship. As smart and independent as she was, why would she want a younger version of her baby daddy? Like Caine wanted to be Parnell so bad, he almost ended up raising that man's son. He was already banging his ex. Why would she even put herself in that situation again? I don't get that. However, I did see that she loved Caine more than he loved himself.
Now, Old Dog was the craziest.
His other friends, or influences, I should say, were Old Dog, an underage nuisance with a gun. The tragedy of him is he's accepted his lot in life, and along with everything that comes with it. This character is based on Larenz Tate's Chi-Town roots. Old Dog is like what people fear about Chief Keef in person. This movie's hyperbole purposely makes Old Dog into a reckless nightmare without remorse.
I mean, he was what we call a G. Always in the middle.
AWACS was an OG vet. Most likely what Old Dog aspired to be. Not as reckless as O, but just as dangerous.
Get your bitch ass up and answer the door.
Chauncey was probably the least likable person in the film. A Judas type of dude. Unworthy, weak, cowardly. Pretty much just a pussy.
Whenever we were together and some shit popped off,
Harold was his cousin
he
and
had
the
my
catalyst
back,
of the movie.
and I had his. I mean, we was
I'm
down
sure
for
that
each other like that.
Harold was who kept Caine safe in the hood, outside of Purnell.
Let me show you how to hold it.
As a small boy, guns are placed in Caine's hand. Later, his father murders a man. This was the process of indoctrination into this cycle. Caine does the same thing with Ronnie and Parnell's son, viciously attacking Chauncey for being drunk and disrespectful. Caine didn't know Ronnie and Parnell was observing, continuing this cycle of pass-along brutality, which in many hits a raw nerve. The tragedy of Caine's life is he can't slow down long enough to get a bigger picture, or even look at different alternatives that may be available. The boy got tunnel vision. The allure of money, respect, and power are realistically presented, but no more so than the brutal toll that is taxed to obtain those. So as a counterbalance, the Hugh brothers made the movie purposely preachy. This effect was done just so we don't confuse what we're seeing with what we want to see. Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood have similar settings. Check out that Boys in the Hood review if you haven't yet. But with a more intense tone. Riveting, real, and raw, and exploding with violence, serving in its own way as a powerful indictment of how life has become for black men living in the inner city or the hood, trying to behave just to escape the grave. When we're introduced to Caine and Old Dog, they're portrayed sympathetically, even though it's impossible for us to endorse their actions. They're criminals, using guns to solve problems. The empathy we feel from them comes from our understanding of the culture that got them there.
And what I want to talk to you
without going into who or what produced this environment or to what's the expectation,
boys,
this movie shows what obstacles young black men are facing in the inner city and how the values of our elders have been disregarded by the temptation of guns, gangs, drugs, and violence. Viewers are forced to decide if our characters are true menaces to society or just mere products of said environment. No hint is given who's the real culprit. Viewers are just left to speculate. By some, this could be seen as a negative film, but it's not. For depicting the truth should never be seen as negative. Did they embellish or exaggerate a bit? Yeah, they did. However, those same ones that are concerned should ask themselves, why does our society make guns and drugs so easily to obtain than any other country in the civilized world? Or why do we police certain communities differently than we do others? And while you got me talking, the police interrogation scene in the film, classic. The lighting sets a tone of heaven and hell. Bill Duke delivered those 5 words that live in movie history, that every kid from the hood been at least told once. Nonetheless, the hindrance of growth is toxic.
You're teaching better than I taught you.
Perhaps being your brother's keeper to ensure your own survival is the overarching lesson. Anybody else notice the irony of love and happiness playing in the background on the way to go kill a person? We're looking at a tortured soul right here. A guilty conscience, wrestling with sin.
As long as there ain't no crowd.
Caine acting as the conscience and O-Dog as the ego. Caine consistently faces these crossroads. Caine knows wrong from right. That's why after the murder he don't feel better. O-Dog and A-Wax don't care about right and wrong. It's not their cross to bear. However, Caine's name has biblical connotations, with our main character bearing multiple crosses. Trying to escape the hood, being his brother's keeper, being warned not to kill, being doing so. Low-key, count how many times crosses pop up in scenes. And as you're doing so, I guess everything that a cross represents occurs in the film, from crime and punishment to salvation. This movie provokes you to question how you look at honor and respect, and what's the proper way to deal with them when they're challenged.
Fuck you think you is, man?
Buddy that Caine father killed wouldn't have died if A.J. Johnson wasn't laughing,
It's your bitch, nigga.
instigating and shit. In the beginning, during the robbery, you can see the camera crew in the mirror. Caine said he was gonna buy Parnell and Ronnie's son a new big wheel, but all he did was watch off the old one.
Think you is, man?
Ron O'Neal is the drug dealer from Superfly. Ron O'Neal is the drug dealer from Superfly. Y'all saw Superfly before? My generation always talking about this generation, how they always snitching on themselves. What you call what O-Dog was doing with the videotape? Huh? Them choosing Kansas to move was interesting. Kansas was once considered the promised land for slaves who wanted to become freemen. So I don't know if that's like a double entendre they was trying to work in. So you remember Sharif, right? That's the ex-knucklehead who took Ricky's ball when he was a kid. Cuz became a Muslim, now look at him. Felt like I watched him grow up, man. That shit hurt when they killed him, man. I heard once that Tupac said, America eats its babies. We see examples of that in this film, with the reckless abandonment of morals. It's said that if you live by a gun, you'll die by one too. But who's responsible for a society in which you need one? Whatever you do, choose wisely. You can't be your brother's keeper and contribute to his demise. I'm Fox. This is Check It Out. Like, share, subscribe, and do me a favor. Turn on that notification so you know when I'm dropping. Y'all be cool, man. Take care of yourself. I'm out.
That kid is a pain in the ass.